Blackstone Audio presents Thrilling Days in Army Life by General George A. Forsyth. A Frontier Fight. More than 25 years agone, it so fell out that I was an actor in one of the most important Indian campaigns of the last half of the present century, the second of a series of 4 such campaigns, all fought since our Civil War, that finally broke down the power of the various semi-united tribes, compelled them to accept the reservation system, and has practically ended savage warfare within the present limits of the United States. Not that I regard the Indian question as settled, for we still have to face some knotty problems regarding the final disposition of the red men, and it is not at all improbable that within the next decade there will be more or less fighting of a sanguinary character until eventually a fixed policy regarding the Indians will be evolved, and their gradual absorption into the body politic will take place. It is the story in detail of one of the frontier fights that occurred during the second of the 4 campaigns above mentioned that I now propose to tell. In the summer of 1868, I was on duty as Acting Inspector General of the Department of the Missouri, serving in that capacity upon the staff of General Philip H. Sheridan, who was then in command of that military department, with headquarters at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. The geographical limits of the department included the states of Missouri, Arkansas, and Kansas, and the 3 territories of Colorado, New Mexico, and Indian Territory. Incidentally, the campaign of which I write carried us somewhat beyond the above-named limits on the north and into northern Texas on the south. However, within the boundaries I have named, many of the tribes who at that time were either openly or covertly hostile to the government had their hunting grounds, and roamed at will over the plains and along the frontier from northwestern Texas on the south to the British possessions on the north, having for their habitat all of the then unsettled country east of the Rocky Mountains. In those days it was an Indian paradise, for within a few miles of the most advanced settlements, plover, quail, and grouse sprang into the air with a startled whir, and fluttered away to cover in every direction as the early traveler urged his horse along the trail or through the thick grass that bordered the path on his journey's way. Wild fowl of almost every variety nested and raised their young fearlessly in the reeds along the course of the rivers and among the lakes and swamps of the south and west, while vast flocks of wild turkeys feasted and fattened on the hazel and pecan nuts of Indian Territory.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?